Hello, beautiful souls. Don't worry, I'm just playing with landscape mode. If you are a deconstructing Christian, I have a book for you. It's called The Power of Worshippers, Inside the Dangerous Rise of Religious Nationalism by Katherine Stewart. Now, I would have recommended this book to you anyway, but I'm reading it to prepare for an event in February that's being hosted by Red, White, and Blue. This author is also on the panel, and I'll be sharing more about that event. But I want to read part of what Stewart writes. She's writing about Ralph Drollinger, who is the founder of Capital Ministries, with the tagline, "Making Disciples of Christ in the Capital." Okay, so we know what they're doing. She went to an event where he was speaking, and here's what Katherine wrote about this. He informs the crowd about alliances forged with believers in Muslim countries, quote, "going into enemy territory, spiritually speaking," end quote. Now, why do I think this is important? Because I guarantee you that you as a deconstructing evangelical Christian is still confused and struggling with what to believe and how to respond to the crisis in Gaza. They are minutes away from a famine. They have always had food insecurity caused by a blockade by Israel to food coming into Gaza. You have heard the dehumanizing language for years. And here is the kind of language we have always heard from the pulpit related to Muslims. It's also why many of us knew that when Trump said that he would want a ban from all Muslims entering the country until we could figure out what the hell is going on, we who deconstructed were also terrified because we knew what kind of person was sitting in the pews. We knew he had won. I had people laugh at me when I said he's going to win. They said, no, he's a joke. They never sat in the pews. They never heard the stories. They never heard the sermons. They never heard someone call them the enemy. Spiritually speaking, we're not talking enough about this conflict, this spiritual conflict that people are having. Now, for those of you who are still having problems, I hope you're here listening to people who are educating you about why Free Palestine is something that we all should be supporting and why we should be paying attention to what's happening there and how many people have lost their lives. But there is also a podcast called Bro History, and they did a series, or I think maybe it was just one podcast, where they talk about, they share their own deconstructing from Christian Zionism into supporting the Palestinians. So I hope you'll go listen to that. I hope you go grab this book and tell me what you think. And how do you like landscape?